Let's have a day, man. Let's have a day.
Football's back.
You got to keep competing, play in, play out. If you don't do something good, next play. You got to be locked in. You got to stay together as a team. You got to help each other out.
Season 2 of the Curt Mallory Show is here. The Quincy Hawks are Thursday night at Memorial Stadium. We hope to see you there. 7 o'clock kickoff alongside the coach, Curt Mallory. I'm Luke Martin. Coach, it seemed just like yesterday we were in Season 1. Now it's Season 2. Just the emotions for you with year 2 finally among us.
Well, obviously we want to see most improvement from year 1 to year 2. And this team's has worked extremely hard, and we're anxious to get started Thursday night.
You mentioned the work. It hasn't just started since August 1st. It's really been since the loss to UNI. I know you credit a lot of what Coach McManus has done in the weight room. Just the improvement you've seen from your guys, let alone the football side, but just the physical nature. I think it's pretty easy for fans to say when they see your team on Thursday night, they're going to see a much bigger, stronger, and faster group. Well,
we've got 23 seniors that have worked extremely hard, have done a great job leading this team. And guys have worked hard in the off season, and we're anxious to get going. We're anxious to get started, and prove that we were going to be a much better football team, much improved come Thursday night.
Part of that is because you have so many new guys. 65 players on this roster have yet to play a down for you. Mm-hmm. Knowing that, there may be a little bit of unease, but what makes you excited because of those 65 guys and, of course, the guys you have coming back?
Well, I talked to the 23 seniors yesterday. And they got to lead us. Things aren't going to go our way every play. That's how a football game goes. And that we pull together. And it's going to start with those guys, those 23 guys, because we do have guys that have played a lot of football. Even though we've got 65 that have yet to play, we got 40 that have. And those 40 guys need to pull the thing together and lead us.
You always say you can't put a price tag on experience. Mm-hmm. So for the guys that did play a year ago, even though maybe wasn't on the field results you wanted, how big of improvement have you seen from the guys that maybe were freshmen a year ago or maybe thrust into a spot that they maybe weren't necessarily ready for, but it's going to start paying dividends because you've seen it in fall camp to this point?
Well, it starts up front on both sides of the ball. That's where our experience comes from. On the offensive line, we've got guys that have played significant amount of time. Same with the defensive line. And that's where it's got to start. Those guys obviously have worked very hard, have gotten bigger, have gotten stronger, and have gotten experience to go with that. And now we got to put it all together. We got to put it all together on Thursday in the trenches with the O-line and D-line.
5 guys in your defensive unit were named to the second team Missouri Valley Football Conference in the preseason, which says you got some talent on that side of the ball. Of course, you mentioned the seniors. Of course, when you have a guy like Rondell Green, when you have a guy like Cottrell Moss, you're going to have great leadership on that side of the ball. But maybe what are some aspects of that defense that, yeah, we talk about those 5 guys. What you need more than 5 guys. What's it about that group that really makes you eager for Coach Brad Wilson to unleash his guys starting Thursday?
Well, like we talked before, year 1 to year 2. This is a defense that's playing with confidence. They're reacting. There's less thinking because they've been in the system for now 2 years. And you're seeing that in practice, and we're anxious to see that and see that carry over in games on Thursday.
When you think of Thursday's opponent in Quincy, you always say it's about us. It's not really about the opponent. But when you do look at them, what do you like about the group they have? Because it seems like they're almost a mirror reflection of where you were a year ago. It's going to be a first-year full-time head coach in Coach Bass. They have a lot of freshmen that are going to be playing, but it does seem like they still have a lot of talent.
They do. They got a lot of good football players. Coach Bass does a tremendous job. He and his staff, they're well coached. They've got good football players. This is a good football team coming in on Thursday. We're going to have to be ready. I know our players will be, and we're anxious to get started.
What are some of the biggest things you want to get out of Thursday? I know obviously one is a win and start off the year in the win column. But outside of that, when you and your staff, when you're working together, what are some of those main objectives that you want to see from a football standpoint on Thursday?
How we react to the part of the game that's going to happen. Things aren't going to go our way every play. They're going to go their way. And how we can respond. That's the growth from year 1 to year 2 with the maturity that we believe that our football team has gained, that we can fight through the adversity. Because it's a good football team, like I mentioned before, they're going to have their share of big plays, and it's how we respond. We're going to have to respond much better than we did a year ago.
I think this is kind of an obvious question because it builds off of what you just said to me. But knowing when you went through a year like a year ago, and you've been around football a long time, even games that may look like they go your way, there's going to be adversity at some point in a game. How big of a test is that for your group, and what you want to see is when they do get punched in the mouth for a group that got punched a lot last year, to see how they get up and respond on Thursday?
Well, we had our ups and downs, no doubt about it, last year, and a lot of it was depth, and we felt like we've really developed our depth. Guys that we were counting on a year ago maybe got injured, but that's part of football. We're able to stay, for the most part, pretty healthy through camp. We got guys that we didn't have last year that are going to play significant roles, not only on the offense and defensive side, but also on the special teams. And so we feel like going into it, we're a much healthier football team. We're a year older, and we're anxious to get going.
I know on Thursday night, too, we did a video out on GoSycamores.com. The fans will be able to see improvements at Memorial Stadium, too, with new signage.
Yep.
Should be a really fun game day atmosphere. Just what are you most looking forward to just about Thursday and going through game day yet again at Memorial Stadium?
Well, I've waited. We've all waited for this time to come, and but it wasn't something we just thought about the week of or 2 weeks ago. This has been an everyday process. These young men, these senior leadership started from the day after the season, and they worked extremely hard. Not just some of the days, but it was all the days. So it's been an all-in approach, and it took the whole team. And not everybody made it through, but the majority did. And that's what I'm most proud of, is just seeing the improvement from year one to year two.
I thought Coach Wilson put it to me very well when I asked him how much angst is there to get this year going for you personally, as for Coach Wilson as a coach. And he said, Luke, our shelf life is a lot longer than our players when it comes to playing. Yeah. For you, I'm sure it's the same thing, and that's why you have a lot of anticipation for Thursday. It's not for you. It's not for Coach Mallory. Yeah, you want to have that moment with your family and celebrate, but it's really about the guys.
Yeah, we talk to them all the time. Football's not forever, but your education is. It's always been the approach here at Indiana State, will always be that. But they also understand football is not forever. These opportunities, you only get so many of them. And what you make of them is what you take from them. And we're anxious to get started. I can't say that enough. Thursday can't come quick enough, but we're ready to go and anxious to get started.
Coach, appreciate the time, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you very much.
Once again, that was head coach Curt Mallory. For more on Indiana State football, you know where to stay. That's right here at GoSycamores.com.